one in professionalism on the YouTube webosphere. I'm your host, Ross Eastman. We've got Jack Death coming all the way from the Northern Highlands, a.k.a. Gaz, a.k.a. Moss Shinobi. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jeff, Darkside, Fire Pixie, always helping us out with the links. You can find the full movie on YouTube. The one that I watched was unfortunately like the censored cut version, so I missed some of those cutaway with the kills, but I rewatched and I saw the last couple big ones. So hopefully our boy Slipknot will be joining us. This is his pick. You know, as you guys know, we take stuff from the audience, and then we do Gaz and I's picks, as well as whatever's new is dropping on the indie and the mainstream circuit. Not too much channel news. The schedule, I believe, is posted under posts, so jump in with us. Next week we have Hellraiser 2 or Hellbound Hellraiser 2. We've got Mr. B from the Mysteries with Mr. Belgique channel joining us, the horror expert, and then after that we have The Keep, which Gaz and I have been talking about for some time now. That is another Slipknot pick, one of our main we said we were doing The Keep, but not today. We said we were doing The Keep the 25th. So you guys weigh in what you want for Halloween, because it's a Friday, so we really don't have anything planned. We might just come in with the next day with All Saints Day and we've plotted out most of what we're going to do next month. That will be on me and Gaz to get the fine details. First and foremost, how's audio sounding? Gaz, if you want to just do a check and let's let the audience weigh in that they could hear your intro, whatever you want to do.
Check. I've smiled once this week. Check. How's the audio sounding? Let us know, folks.
Yeah, just let Jack Death know how he sounds. He was like a little bit low on my end, but I think overall he should be good. Slipknot brought us this. Gaz and I cannot pronounce this film, so we're going to call it Antro until any of you guys weigh in and teach us what the pronunciation is. It seems to be something like Antropophagus, something
Antropophagus, is it? Phagus?
So it could be that too. You never know. Some controversy. This is called one of the video nasties that was prosecuted in the UK in the early 1980s, and the controversy greatly aided to its cult reputation. Antropophagus, also known as Antropophagus the Beast, the Savage Island, which is the title I saw, which I think is the English dub, the Grim Reaper. Like, you'd expect a lot more from a film named The Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? Maybe some actual violence, some actual kills. A 1980 Italian horror film directed by Joe D'Amato. Shout out to him. Co-written by D'Amato and George Eastman, who plays Klaus. And starring Tisa Farrow, Zora Karova, Sabiero Valloni, Serena Grandi, Marguerite Mazzanettini, and Mark Bowden and Eastman, who portrays a cannibal stalking tourists on a remote island.
Dun, dun, dun.
So any questions for me and Gaz, feel free to jump at any point. This is obviously Zodtober, doing all horrors for the month for you guys. 30 days of horror for October. So Antro has been described as having a noted place in the annals of escalation of gore. The film has gained cult status, if only amongst fringe horror video audiences. It has been argued that the reason for its cult status lies in its theme of cannibalism, hence consumption of humans, which lends itself to cult reception. The scene in which the titular man-eater strangles a pregnant woman, tears out the fetus from her womb, and bites into it made it become one of the infamous video nasties, blah, 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 as I just told you guys.
The enthusiasm, I must be contagious today. It's like I'm projecting my misery onto you.
Yeah, we're going crazy in this one. Red Cloud, what up? This is Slip's pick, audience.
Hey, Red.
A couple picks from the audience this month. Slippy seems to be a horror guy. We have that. We have The Keep coming up in a couple of weeks. Obviously, we're doing Hellbound, Hellraiser 2 next week. So we're going to dive right into the plot. Had extreme pacing issues. Yeah, it seems so. I mean, what are the other ones? I mean, I'm more of a fan of like Cannibal Holocaust. I haven't seen Zombie. I think that's one of the original movies like that. I'm into the Italian horror. I like Demone, of course. Gaz is familiar with that title. Demone 1 and I think Demone 2 is where it like borders on like trauma level, dark comedy. You know what I mean? But
yeah, is that the one? Is it the sequel or the original where you've got the guy shouting at the other dude working out in the gym saying, "Do you want legs like tree trunks?" Or do you remember that?
Two. I think that's 2. Yeah, like the obnoxious gym people. You know what I mean? M. I think M is a German movie, right? Impressionist something or other. Yeah, I mean, it's got its issues. I don't know about the whole video nasties thing, Slip. The pacing in this movie, pretty atrocious. I would have liked more, like, you think it's going to be a slasher, but the dude just, like, slowly walks behind people for, like, 15, 20 minutes at a time.
Frightening them with his breath.
Yeah, the key yeah. That's the predecessor to the Friday the 13th breathing. The key deals with a Third Reich contingent that has to consult their Jewish colleague. Trying to put this lightly for World War II. So we'll get right into it. We got our. I guess it looks like George Eastman, who plays Klaus, is like a co-wrote it with the director. I'd check out the director's other work. I mean, I do like the Mediterranean setting. I didn't mind the music. Gaz will probably have more criticism than I will. It almost sounds like a weird like organ Casio version of that Scarface theme, Gaz. Like,
yeah,
but just yeah. So let's dive into the plot here. Feel free to weigh in, Slippy, on whatever you think. A pair of Germans visiting a remote Greek island go to the beach and are slaughtered by someone who emerges from the ocean. 5 travelers are preparing to tour the islands, and a woman named Julie joins them. Oh, yeah, I mean, so that intro scene, Gaz, it's like, I would have liked to have seen him. I mean, I get, obviously, why they didn't show him, because it was the first scene, but you have, like, the German meathead dude listening to, like, early 80s techno, and he doesn't get that, like, that girl got pulled into the water and, like, eaten or whatever, so he can't hear or whatever.
Yeah, and there was some really bad audio in that scene in general. Where did you feel where the volume was just insanely high? It almost sounded like somebody was moving furniture in the background.
I couldn't even tell because I think I watched like some remastered version on YouTube, so it seemed to have like a higher resolution. And maybe they mixed the volume on the version I watched, and like I said, I rewatched some of the unedited kills on an uncensored version. So there seems to be like with all the different titles. I mean, I'll say this, Slip. I don't know what maybe you watch it in Italian with English subtitles. The English subtitles are atrocious, as guys are saying. There's so many parts where it's just like dialogue playing in the background on the vocal track where it's just like way off. But definitely has. Okay, cool. I'll check him. I mean, I'll look for him in the westerns. That's something I can rock with. That's something I can rock with. I think Gaz might prefer that to this. So,
well, definitely,
yeah. So it gets kind of
nice.
That first tourist kill scene. Oh yeah, I want to watch that original Django. I've only seen
same.
Yeah, I do want to watch that for sure. Yeah, that's cool. I rock with that. 5 travelers are preparing to tour the islands, and a woman named Julie joins them. Julie asks for a ride to an island on which some of her friends live. The only one who objects to this detour to the island, which Julie explains has only a few permanent residents and only sees tourists a few months out of the year, is Carol, whose tarot cards, the Tarocco Piemontese, convince her that something bad will happen if they go. The group sails to the island anyway. While disembarking, the pregnant Maggie hurts her ankle, so she stays behind on the boat with its owner. A man attacks the ship, ripping the sailor's head off and abducting Maggie. So that's probably like our second kill. Was there a head in the bucket there, guys, were you saying? Or was that a different part?
Yeah, it's early on where you see that kind of just really bad, what's supposed to be a head in a bucket. That was one of the kind of amusing scenes in the first 30 minutes before I pretty much had my life robbed from me for the remainder.
I mean, I liked the pacing of how they're like moving into this like ominous like island, like almost like a Dead Island vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think like they got the setting right. I didn't mind the music. Of course, like anything shot in the Mediterranean, it's going to look pretty sick, like Gaz said. So like cinematography is probably the highlight. But I think Slamily guy. But I think it just needs a remake with like one of the new modern horror directors, like even like what's his name? Is it Damien Leone, who does the Terrifier? Like he would be good for something like this because that dude goes all in on the gore. Like I think you just need more gore, more kills to I mean the kills are in there, but it's just like they move away from them so quick, and then it's just like poor tourists talking.
I would argue Damien Leone goes too over the top. Sure. Where it's nice to have a bit of that suspense, be a bit balanced, because his movies, I'm going to upset a lot of people here, but to be honest, they're just sicko fests, and it's just a guy off in minors and chicks. And I'm just like, no, man.
In Terrifier, but I'm saying if you took something like this, like, hey, I'm going to go out there and shoot in Italy and do something a little bit more like a genre piece, you know? Like
I think,
real and memorable, you know?
I think though as well, I get where they were going at the start, not showing them, they wanted to go for the suspense and gradually reveal him. And if you took a bit of the gore, as you said, from Damien Leone, I wouldn't, not to the extreme or then, because I think it's nice to have that suspense to keep people on the edge. So you've got that balance and then gradually reveal them like they did, then that would work. You're right, the pacing is off. I mean, it's obviously being done on a shoestring budget, so that's going to be one of the few positives I'm going to say. I'm going to try and be as nice as I can, which I might fail at slip, so apologies in advance there. I'll say in Italian to be attente. But yeah, Ross, there is some promising moments, and you feel that 30 minutes okay, where it kind of feels a bit like a comedy before it turns into a torture fest of boredom, to be honest. But there was potential there for something, especially a later scene, which we were talking about earlier, which could have kind of gone into the backstory on the guy a little more instead of what we were presented with.
That, and then also like the castles, or you know what I mean? Like I would think, okay, once he got into the castle and the crypt, and I was like, okay, we're going somewhere. I think this might get the aesthetic of the castle. I was like, okay, that's sick. The mansion, obviously, or whatever. So, had it been like Sardinia or something, but no, I totally see it, bro. I totally see it. Like as a genre piece. But yeah, so we'll get into it. Rip the hell abducting Maggie. Like, also, like, why would this insane cannibal tourist killer like abduct Maggie, right? Like, you think like his MO would just be like come across the first person he sees and eats them if he's eating them for food, but we'll get into some of the plot holes, as we move on. The others explore the island's town, discovering it in disarray and abandoned, except for an elusive woman in black who writes "Go away" on a dusty window. A rotting corpse that appears to have been cannibalized is uncovered in a house, prompting everyone to rush back to the boat, which is adrift. Didn't really make much sense why the boat was adrift unless they didn't anchor it, but that's okay. With no other options, the group goes to the house owned by Julie's friends, where they find the family's blind daughter, Henriette. After wounding Daniel in a panic, Henriette is calmed down and rants about there being a madman who smells of blood prowling the island. I mean, that was kind of unintentional comedy there when the blind woman stabbed Daniel in the back there, guys. I was just like, this happens in horror movies where like the characters get injured before the killer shows up. But
and the line later when I'm going to lock you in the room to be safe, and you just knew. I thought, this isn't. And then you see scruffy alleyway bum stood in the corner there with his pizza face.
The old hide behind the door like that. That was a classic. Definitely turned up there. But also, like, he when he comes back up, like, does it ever make sense? Like, it doesn't really ever make sense to me. Tell me if I'm wrong, Slip, that he didn't attack the blind girl. Wouldn't that be your first shot because she can't see you? Obviously, she's gonna smell you because that guy's atrocious. But you know what I mean.
He's like a commercial for hygiene.
Yeah, bro. Friggin'. So he got the ragged look down. That's about it. I thought that was more funny than anything when Henriette stabbed Daniel. Andy and Arnold search the town for antibiotics to stop Daniel's wound from getting infected. Carol walks in on Daniel flirting with Julie and goes into hysterics, running off into the night. Julie goes after Carol, but loses her and meets up with Andy and Arnold. I don't think Wikipedia got that right? Didn't they found each other and she locked her in the gate.
Yeah.
I think Wikipedia's got a mistake there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's the classic, like, you know, the survivors betraying each other, blah blah blah, jealousy, romance, jealousy theme, if you will. The disfigured killer breaks into the house and rips Daniel's throat out, but leaves Henriette alone. Like, that's, I don't know. Like, I feel like he would have attacked them both, but okay, you want to keep it rolling one at a time, fine. And flees as the others return. Everyone treks through the island in the morning and finds a mansion belonging to Klaus Wortman. You know, this is a point, like Gaz, where I felt like the catalyst, like, it was getting better the way that they were framing the mansion and, like we said, later on the castle and stuff, but like still you would have needed more of his attacks to like break up the pace, you know what I mean? So like I think like if that's his mansion, you know, I think he would have like, you know, hidden rooms, which we later see and stuff, things that he would use it in his advantage. If you don't know the terrain, you know what I mean?
Would explain the movement, and perhaps you know, when we get to the final act, one notorious hole on how, you know, I guess we see sorcery in a way unintentionally, how somebody can fall and then materialize in a well and climb up there, and the previous pickaxe wound is gone.
It's off camera.
So yeah, we'll get to that. You know, maybe he had other powers been onto us.
You know, would have been cool, like a H.H. Holmes type of thing, where like he had like trap doors and like booby traps in the mansion. Using that too, as you know what I mean? Because if you had gone insane and your whole thing is you're just going to attack these people and all this stuff, you like him setting more traps and stuff like that would have been cool. But you know, when your survivors are this dumb, I guess it's unnecessary. Seems like he plays with his victim. That could be why he left the blind girl alone. Sure, absolutely. Carol locked her in the cemetery because Carol. All right, we're not doing School of Rock 2 with Jim Carrey, Red Cloud.
Oh no, just no.
This movie.
No.
She's the one he pulls through the roof at the end. Slipknot fan, the blind girl. Yeah. I think Slipknot knows Pixie. He's big on this one. Okay, Trex Allen. Julie mentions that she read that Klaus, his wife, and their child are assumed dead, having been shipwrecked. A tragedy which caused Klaus's sister Ruth to become unhinged. Ruth, the woman in black from earlier who wrote "Go Away" on the window, watches the group enter the building, comforts the sleeping Carol, and hangs herself. And like, okay, I get this is just like trying to be like creepy, like sideshow thing that happens in a horror movie, but like, I don't know. I was kind of confused, honestly, when she just like fell down the stairs hanging. Like, I was like, did he do that? Did she, like, obviously, I guess he wouldn't kill his sister, but he already killed his wife and his kid, right? So what's the difference?
Yeah.
You know,
maybe the person was affecting her as well, and she knew how it was going. She said, right, so I'm taking the easy way out here.
Put her out of the misery of having to see this epic fail third act. After Carol wakes up, Andy and Arnold look out the window and see that the boat has drifted close to shore. The two men go to secure the vessel, and Julie finds a partially destroyed journal among the objects in the mansion. It reveals that the killer is Klaus, and that the bodies of all of Klaus's victims are in a hidden room. Okay, I'll give you this part, Slipknot. I was rocking with the hidden room full of bodies. That was pretty crazy. I just wish they would have did more with it. Like, I feel like if he has all this time on his hands, wouldn't he have like staged like each room in the house, you know? But the way that she found the hidden room, guys, when she threw that thing through the mirror and the door is just behind the mirror, I guess he just moved the mirror there and the door's not locked.
Yeah. Exactly. This is one of the few positive parts, I guess, that I appreciated with the movie. Yes, that part is definitely is whack Ross, you're right. But that room, the hidden room, as you said, with the remains, etc., it kind of reminded me of those catacombs that are supposed to be, that I've seen various history programs on that are underneath various cities in Italy and France. So I thought that was a good touch. And then they were reading, I believe, like very worn manuscripts, diaries, records. So I thought we were going to get some kind of possible, supernatural explanation on why alleyway bum man is deranged, why he's got his various powers, etc. And I feel that was one of the potential positive parts where it could have gone somewhere, and it kind of didn't. I'll give one, and I'm reaching here. The other positive, I guess, when alleyway bum man appears, aka Klaus, and when he appears in this scene, the actor, the way he's I guess showing his eyes to demonstrate that he's clearly deranged. Like, we haven't got that already, but it is good the way he uses his eyes in that scene. I'll give the actor that. I mean, again, there's a case for he hasn't quite used his mouthwash, because you just see vapor leaving his mouth all the time. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe he was dating the xenomorph, possibly, the alien queen, that could have been it, Ross.
Get away from her. I mean, maybe that was part of his superpower, guys. Maybe the vapor was been somehow infecting his victims, and maybe making them
feel nauseous.
Yeah, exactly. So his sister was the one hiding the bodies. Okay, I rock with that. That's actually pretty cool. So I guess
that's pretty good. Yeah,
hung herself because she was, guilt.
That is pretty cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's decent. I see. Pixie pays attention. That's why she's a mod. Especially when the two hosts don't. Andy and Arnold. Wait, he's the killer. Okay, yeah. Andy and Arnold split up. That usually works well in horror slashers. And the latter reaches an abandoned church where he finds Maggie is confronted by Klaus. I just feel like they could have did more with the abandoned church, like you were saying, Gaz. Like, if they had some sort of like satanic theme or otherwise, you know what I mean, it would have played. But who knows what different versions of the script look like, or these pseudo sequels or whatever. And okay, this is where the flashback. Klaus has a flashback that reveals he and his family were stranded on a raft after being shipwrecked, and that Klaus accidentally stabbed his wife while trying to convince her that they should eat the body of their dead son to survive. I mean, Gaz was talking about how this just shows he was a piece of crap when he was alive. Like, I don't know.
He's like father of the year, isn't he?
Yeah. Because like you can see that she's got like the sunburn. She's like rubbing her son. The kid doesn't even look dead, and then Klaus just wakes up out of his fatigue. He's just like, he's dead. Let's kill him. Eat him. I'm like, bro, you didn't why don't you check if he's dead first? Like,
I get where they're going, because there's that scene where it moves to the sun. So it's clear showing, he's gone crazy in the sun, etc. So I get it. They're showing that this guy, this is where he went deranged. He already wasn't exactly a nice dude. There was that darkness in him. But I just, because of the previous scene we were just discussing, Ross, which I felt had more of an interesting, appealing quality, that they could have gone somewhere with it, and this was kind of the explanation. Like, okay, this guy just went crazy in the sun, and that's what he's been doing since. I thought, okay, it kind of just fell flat.
Sure, right, but like, here's the thing: like, with all the filler in the first act and the slow pacing, like, give us something to chew on in the flashback. That's not just he wakes up in 1 second. My son's already dead. Eat him. Like, I would have liked this scene, like them like suffering in their survival. And then like, because I mean, there's dude, those, you want to talk about like survivalism? I don't know if it was it South America, guys? I think we talked about this, or the dudes were Cuban or something. There was those 4 dudes that were stranded for like weeks or whatever, and they survived off like turtle blood. So it's like, just because, I mean, if you have the means to fish, it's like you could still.
What you were saying with what's
eating the 2 people in the raft with you.
Yeah, native wildlife that's around there as well when he's on there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Or like, I don't know. Anyway, we don't have to go deep into it, but it is what it is. But so yeah, you get this kind of awkwardly weird flashback. Klaus then ate his wife and son's corpses, and that's what drove him insane, but it seems like he was teetering before that anyway. Klaus regains his composure, stabs Arnold, and then strangles Maggie to death. As Arnold slowly dies, he watches in horror as Klaus rips out and eats Maggie's unborn child. I mean, this is the supposedly scene that got it banned or whatever, video nasty in the UK. So maybe you can speak up on that, Gaz. Do you remember back in the day where a lot of these hardcore horrors getting banned, or is it kind of
probably slip better than better? Maybe it's exactly. Not really. I mean, this is the first time I've even watched it or heard of it. I mean, to be honest, it's probably going to say I would have banned it, but I would have banned it for different reasons because it's damn terrible. That's why I would have banned it.
Hardcore for being too soft.
I mean, we're trying to pick out some of the positive moments, so we're not just going to sit here just absolutely roasting it to death. Say, look, there's this in it, there's this here. But no, sorry, man. I don't. I've never heard of it actually.
Yeah, same. I mean, like stuff like Cannibal Holocaust is super infamous. I like Slip's point here, though. I think the audience is left to make up their own theory of what Klaus Wortmann is. And
that's interesting.
I mean, I'm all for the audience interpretation. You guys know Blade Runner is one of my favorite of all time. All right, Pixie, not cool. Don't do family cannibalism jokes here. All right, let's keep it cruising. Where the hell did I leave off? Okay, So apparently that was the big deal. What the director said, the motto, he said that he used like a skinned rabbit for the fetus. So I mean, maybe he had some special effects work going on there. Like one thing I was gonna say though that never really. Maybe if I missed it, Slip, explain it to me. But sure, he had to eat his wife and kid to survive on the raft. But once he washed ashore on the island that clearly had abundance of food from the. You see the tourists like eating dinner from whatever they cooked in the house. He could just like steal food from other people's houses. Plus, like there's parts of Italy that have native rabbits, like a native dish. You think he could hunt rabbits and eat? So, of course, he went totally crazy. So it never occurs to him to just like eat regular food ever again. I guess once Klaus turns into a loon. Suspension of realism. It's fine. Julie uncovers the room where Klaus's victims are at the mansion and skims through another diary she finds. Carol stumbles into the chamber and drops dead from a slit throat. Klaus then attacks Julie, who locks herself and Henriette in the attic after a short chase. Klaus breaks through the ceiling and kills Henriette. I think does he bite her in the neck or something, guys?
Yeah, he does. This is where he pulls her up by her hair and he bites her neck. And then we're going to see one of the most interesting examples of I guess teleportation in a moment.
Yeah, we're getting to that. Oh my God, Henriette and is then knocked off the roof by Julie and falls into a well. But Wikipedia is being super generous here, so let me and Gaz break that down for you. She stabs Klaus through the leg with a pickaxe through the ceiling. And then he falls off the roof. You don't see him fall into the well, as Gaz said, when he exhibits his possessed teleportation ability. He just falls, and you don't actually know. Now, when this scene when Julie like climbs out of this crypt or whatever, I don't even know why she did that. Because when she came down out of the roof, wasn't she still in the mansion? Because it showed her like coming down the stairs. So then she climbs through this like weird thing and falls in the well. I don't know. That confused me. I don't know if I missed it.
Same. I don't know if I missed it either. Same.
And again, the version I watched at first. Go ahead, guys.
All I can remember, as I say, is this guy is stabbed with a pickaxe, somehow manages to fall into a well, and then appears out of the well. Slip, I found something positive I can get. Yeah, I'm really reaching. I guess the scene with Klaus climbing out of the water, and I am really reaching here. I guess that could maybe was that a possible inspiration for, is it Jason Goes to Manhattan, the Friday the 13th movie where Jason is climbing out of the water and the sewer? Very similar scene. I guess there's that. I'll say there's another positive.
Yeah, I think that's Friday the 13th 3. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is, but I know it's one of them. Yeah.
So whatever reason, she comes out of this portal for whatever reason and falls in the well. But I'm sorry, Slip, when her hand catches the rope and it basically ties in a knot. I just like, bro, there's like a 1% chance of that happening in life. Like, listen, like, even as Gaz said, for him, part 8, I guess you guys would know.
Thanks, Slip. Appreciate that, man. Good looking out.
That's clearly. Lauren Lepre is the chief horror correspondent.
Yeah, I knew it was one of them. I didn't know which one because there's a lot of them.
So like, okay, maybe a low probability of him falling off the roof into the well, as Gaz said, but things like that do happen, right, in freak accidents. But the rope tying around her wrist and suspending her above the well, that was unlikely. Sorry, guys, but I get it. It's an 80s horror movie. I can rock with it. So she's kind of suspended over the water, and that's when she sees Alley Bum Man swims to the surface. More cleaned up.
Still not clean, is he?
And this is his regeneration ability from the possession. He's able to climb the rungs of the ladder, and his leg injury that's knocked him off the roof. Gone. He is going to climb the whole ladder and vault the final end of the well to get back onto the surface. But lo and behold, she she climbs out as well ahead of him, but she's still stuck on the rope. Now,
and she's struggling to get that little.
She's trying to get the knot off her wrist, but Klaus is reeling her in from the other side.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen? The cannibal, well, he's about to get her. It's getting real serious now. The cannibal is going to do her in. And then
story time with Roscoe, man.
Who comes to her rescue? Andy is still alive. Lord knows where he's been during this entire attic battle, because there's a 25-minute sequence where Andy was either lost in the castle or the crypt, but he arrives just in time to be the hero. So what does Andy do? He stabs Klaus in the stomach with a pickaxe. Boom, shakalaka. And then the cannibal Klaus's intestines spill out all over the ground. And
you knew what he was going to do next. Yeah.
Huh?
And you knew what he was going to do next as soon as that happened.
I didn't know because the first time I watched it, the scene was cut out, but then I rewatched it on the version Slip. And then, just like one of the animated covers of the film, he eats his own intestines in the freakazoid weirdo loon that he is.
Yeah, it looked like KFC, didn't it?
Yeah, dude, love some KFC.
That's what KFC tastes like as well. Yeah.
Right. And as the cannibal, and Klaus gnaws on his innards as a last dying act, staring at Andy while Julie looks at Klaus in horror. Klaus then falls over and dies, and the film ends with Andy and Julie standing over Klaus's body, staring at each other in shock. It's a crazy.
How could this be?
There's no guns on this island. It's severely lacking. They're pretty much reduced to
severely lacking. That's one way of putting it. It's not severely lacking.
Around with kitchen knives and butcher knives. Because even though Klaus was some famous German explorer, he has absolutely nothing in the mansion that could be used. So when they went in the church, right? If this is me and my brother, we're crazy former Cub Scouts from New Hampshire. I would have ripped those crosses down and sharpened giant spears. I would have set up pits, Return of the Jedi style. I would have caught the cannibal, bro.
Wouldn't there been some garden equivalent tools, landscaping tools around that you could have used as makeshift weapons? Given this as a mansion, you said there probably would have been something historical maybe in there, which we didn't see, that you could have, right, I know, I'm going to get that and I'll use this. There just seemed to be, a lack of anything like that. And the earlier scene with the pathetic fight from... I think it's the guy who first locks the blind girl in the room, and an alleyway bum man is in the corner, and then Mr. Alleyway Man comes, he appears, and that guy runs in. That pathetic fight he had. I mean, this is a case, a lot of these horror movies, they seem to have absolutely, there's just no resistance whatsoever. It's just completely gone. It's almost like he lies on the floor, Ross, in a comfortable position. Then go on, you feast away. I'm in the position for you. That was terrible.
Yeah, he falls down, just happens to stick his neck out. For the fight, you know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, you could be uncertain how powerful he is, but you just like seeing a bit of resistance. It's just like he more or less flopped on the floor like a fish.
He's seemingly powerful. You can see that Klaus is a big, tall man.
Yeah, Pixie would have probably been afraid of soap and water for sure. He'd have ran off terrifying. That would have worked against Klaus.
It might have melted him down to evaporation.
Yeah, he clearly hasn't had a wash for a long time.
Falling in the well didn't clean him any, so it could be one of his superpowers. So I don't know. Where do you want to take it, guys? Let's do production, filming, and score, and then we're gonna basically do reception and probably get out of here, Slippy. Sorry, bud. Pre-production. Antro was produced in collaboration between Produzioni Cinematografici, not going to say the rest of it, PCM International, which had recently been founded by D'Amato to distribute his film Sesso Nero, and Filmerage, founded by both Donatella Donati and D'Amato. Additionally, funding was supplied by Eureka International, a company founded by Edward Sarlouis, which specialized in licensing films abroad. In an interview, D'Amato stated that it was the first film his company, Filmerage, had produced. Okay, I rock with him. Shooting for Antro lasted from 31 March 1980 to May 1980. D'Amato said it was filmed in Italian, unlike its sequel, Rosso Sangri, which was filmed in English. Although the film is set on a Greek island, only part of the production crew went to Greece to film around the Acropolis of Athens. The rest of the film was shot in Italy. Sporlonga was used for scenes in the White Village. I actually did rock with the White Village, guys. That was sick.
Agreed.
Catacombs, as Gaz said, were those of Santa Savanilla, close to the lake of Nepi, and the Man-Eater's Villa was the Let's see if I can struggle through this. Conservatorio di Santa Efemia in Rome. Many interior shots were made in the small villa in Sacrofano, owned by Donatella Donati's father, Imano Donati. It had been already used as a set for some Black Emanuele films. The Greek island that the Baroque approaches in the film is in reality Italian Ponza. Ursula Helen Casavetti observed in the film as an irrational transformation and geographical restructuring of Athens. The experienced editor, Ornella Micheli, links places of the city which in no other case could be tied together. Like in Sesto Nero, the credit for cinematography went to Enrico Berabici, whereas D'Amato only took credit as cameraman. I mean, cinematography is pretty damn good. I'll give him that. Although, you know, it's like the same thing I always say, guys. You shoot in the Mediterranean, and what's going to look bad? If you can't shoot there, you can't shoot anywhere. Both D'Amato and Berabici later claimed to have done the cinematography. Berabici stated that he had started together with D'Amato at the age of 28, therefore had been very proud when D'Amato asked him to act as cinematographer, not as only a cameraman. Berabici also said that he was very satisfied with his own work on the film, in particular the scenes at the catacombs and the ones on the barque that they had rented for the occasion. I mean, as guys said, the catacombs were sick too. I mean, the only problem, guys, is the lens was so bad that some of those dark scenes, like the body room and the catacomb, I mean, I have a 50-something inch TV, guys. I couldn't really see what was going on.
Same. And I guess if they didn't, maybe could have expanded that more. The suspense that was briefly there in the beginning, I'll give it this slip. I suppose it's got a little bit of a kind of Don't Look Now vibe as well. I've only seen that once on TV, I think. And it's kind of got that a little, I guess. So there was some potential there. It's just sadly don't feel it was very executed. Sorry, Ross, I interrupted you.
I was feeling, it's all good, bro. I was feeling like the intro, like Act 1 slip, but they started to lose me with the pacing. You know what I mean? I get the charm. I mean, I'm into these early 80s horrors, you know. even up to early 90s. And of course, being Siciliano, with my luck, the director is going to see this and be like, who's that idiot Ross guy on the internet? You know what I mean? Anyway, so the Catacombs, he further stated that Antro D'Amato asked him to act as cinematographer on some red light films as well, for which he had to use a pseudonym for reasons of censorship. D'Amato, on the other hand, claimed that he had done the cinematography himself, and that Birabici's name was only put in the credits because the union had placed a limit on the number of jobs a single person was allowed to do for a film. That stuff happens, right? In an interview, D'Amato stated that Antro had been perhaps the lowest costing movie of my film career, made on 16 millimeter film and then blown up to 35 millimeter. He said, I had to shorten the scene where Montefiore devours Serena Grandi's fetus, which in actual fact was a skinned rabbit covered in blood. Do you know what the budget was, Slip, or did you happen to come across it, guys? I can see what IMDb says, but a lot of times with this older stuff.
I was struggling. I mean, it's obvious it's on a very, very shoestring budget, but yes, I couldn't find it either. And I don't
think it says it.
Interested to know.
Ricky says. No, it's cool, man. I respect it, Klaus. Have you seen the sequels? There's Part 2, Slip, and then there's Absurd, where Eastman supposedly plays the same character. Coming up next 2 weeks, we got some more horror for you guys. It's Zodtober, but yeah, I bet you it's low. The Keep is, well, originally Gaz and Slipknot kept talking about it. I think Slip originally mentioned it.
Yeah, it's a movie. I mean, I've never seen it, but it's on TV a lot, and I've heard that it's meant to be a cult classic. And I've seen a couple of horror movies set in World War II, and it's been quite interesting. Yeah.
I'll give you guys some sick ones that me and Gaz like. Overlord. It's a big one. Wolfenstein, basically genre swap. It starts
awesome
out
movie.
Like Dusk Till Dawn. It starts out as a World War II war epic, and then changes to horror. And won't tell you guys what happens, but if you've seen, it's a spiritual sequel. And then there's Anto Part 2. How is Absurd? What did you think of it, Slip? Score. I was feeling the score. I'm a sucker for Italian production. Gaz, on the other hand, wasn't really feeling it. The electronic music for the film was performed by Marcello Giombini on 2 ARP 2600 synthesizers. The original recordings of the music are considered to be lost. It's always annoying when that happens, but it's an 80s, 90s thing. The version of the film titled The Grim Reaper, which was released in the United States, uses music from Kingdom of the Spiders instead of Giombini's score. I don't know what Kingdom of the Spiders is, but sounds hilarious. It's 1977 science fiction horror film directed by John Bud Cardos. Haven't heard of that one. Some of Giombini's music was newly performed and recorded by Deke Fiorentz and Roger Conrad and released by the Austrian label Cineploit. The release. Antro was released in Italy on 9 August 1980. It was released in the U.S. on 9 October 1981 under the alternate title The Grim Reaper. Do you have a preference for which AKA names were used and alternate titles, Slip? Because I think the version I watched was called The Savage Island. You could get some cool Planet X merch. You could also join and get a membership and get your name in Zodiac Files main series episode 5, the Blue Rocks, can't even do my thing here, guys. The Lake Herman Road ambush coming soon. You can see that this video nasty horror film has melted both me and Gaz's brains, and we are now flesh-eating cannibals' brains. Critical response. According to D'Amato, Antro had a tremendous, though totally unexpected, success both with the critics and the public. From retrospective reviews, the book Spaghetti Nightmares called the film professionally and cleverly made and stated that it immediately became the symbol for Italian gore. AllMovie gave the film 2 out of 5 stars, describing it as a Z-grade Italian gorer movie, but also as a yummy bit of fun. DVD Verdict wrote that Antro may be the most notable horror effort mounted by Euroskin and Sin Maestro Joe D'Amato, but that doesn't mean it's particularly a good film. Writer John Kenneth Muir praised the film as scary little Italian flick and noted for its atmosphere and final chase sequence. Like, yeah, I mean, the final chase, I don't know. I just wanted more from the final chase, Slippy. I mean, when he's holding a knife like this and it's not even aiming the victim, and it doesn't even look like he's going to stab him, and he's slowly walking up the stairs. I mean, I would have liked friggin' what's her name that was still alive at that point. Just take that pickaxe right in his head, you know?
I'm trying to... I'm kind of feeling guilty for what I'm going to inevitably do in the moment, but I suppose one other positive earlier. Who was the girl, Ross? This film is quickly escaping my memory, and it will go completely soon. Who was the girl I found earlier where she had the knife and she was like stabbing into thin air? She was clearly still in shock. It was early on in the film. I guess that was one of the other positive moments.
The blind chick, Henry.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. When I first found her, I guess that was pretty cool.
Yeah. She didn't do bad as a blind character. Yeah. Matt is pretty tough. So that's everything for Wiki. We're gonna take the. Oh, I guess he said Rita.
Right. Yeah. That was interesting. That moment.
Welcome to the channel. Check out
Justin.
Membership stuff. You can always pop over to the Patreon, where I mostly do Most Dangerous Game adaptations, and see what me and Gaz got going on over there with Avenging Force and Rampage, which I still need to post over there. We're going to go straight to our rating slip. Feel free to drop your ratings in the chat if you've seen the film. I don't know what's going on, Slip. It's IMDb says it's on Tubi. I couldn't find it on Tubi. I saw the second one on there, so I had to watch this on YouTube. So you know where people can watch it, Slip. I know there's hard copies out there and stuff. You can toss that in chat for the folks. So on IMDb, it's a little low. Sorry about that, Slippy. It's only a 5.3. I'm going to rate it right meow in real time, just because I don't want anybody from Italian Hollywood seeing me and crapping on the channel. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Can't burn the bridges before we build them, Gazzy. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Wow,
I'm
really?
a little bit low on this one, guys. I wanted better pacing. I mean, the kills weren't too bad. I could have used more of them.
I'm thinking that's actually quite high.
More yeah, for sure. More character development on Klaus, as Slip was saying. Didn't mind the music. Gazzy, would you like to be our bearer of bad news?
Yeah, Slip's going to kill me. 1 out of 10. 0.5 to 1. This is an appalling film. And the true horror is sitting through it. First 30 minutes, okay, there's some potential there. There is some interesting moments as outlined, but poorly paced, just not very good, very boring. Didn't feel it whatsoever. The reimagined version, as I've said, I think that's from 2022. Okay, could be different, but it's pretty much killed my interest in even seeing those. So, I guess it's better than kicking yourself in the groin. It's about, there we go. There's mine. So I'm the bearer of positivity as usual.
Yeah, I mean, the directing wasn't terrible. Like, I'd like to watch
true.
and just see what he can do with a higher budget, and is he all horror and things of that nature. I could take a little spin through his resume here and see if there's anything that I'm familiar with.
Curious to see these westerns that Slip was recommending that Eastman's indoor, so that we'll check those out.
I see he did Death Smiles on a Murderer. I think I've heard Ill Bill rap about that. Ill Bill and Necro are big into Italian horrors. Texas Gladiators, the 2020 Texas Gladiators, guys, that looks like some grindhouse fun. You guys can't really see the poster, but it's that sounds insane. Almost along the most dangerous. So adding that to my list. Wait, did he direct those? Yeah, I think he's known for that. Let me see. Let's see, is there anything that I've heard of that this dude did? 198 projects directed. None of the covers are coming up for me now. Sodoma and Gomorrah, Nero, Orgy of Fire. You can check that one out, guys.
That's Nero, that's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was a certain individual.
I'm looking at his late 90s stuff. What's Robin Hood, Thief of Wives? Was this guy doing some softcore?
Sounds
looks like he did some erotica later in his career. Went the Italian porn route. All good, all good. Frankenstein 2000 in 1992. The Crawlers 1990. Let's get back to his golden age to the 80s. Zombie 5 Killing Birds. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see the Blade Master 1983. That looks like
no.
The Beastmaster.
Oh yeah, I'd be down for that. For look at that.
Third to my list. What's this? Porno Holocaust. Haven't heard of that one. Orgasmo Nero. Sex and Black Magic. Okay. Intro. And before this, Tough to Kill 79. Looks like that's some kind of vigilante movie.
So I think that what's inspired Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal. Virtually impossible to kill.
What we need to do is Out for Justice. Anybody see Rick G?
Yeah.
That's an absolute must review on this channel. And because we're moving around and you guys are rocking with us, let's double check that Out for Justice release date. See if there's any left in there.
We could do some UFC picks for you as well before we go today, guys.
Yeah, we could do that on our way out.
Yeah.
No, anybody see Richie? Slippery comes back with the keep. He's gonna.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Okay, let's see who's on this Dookie Brazil card. So Ricardo Ramos and Con Offley. Haven't heard of those guys. Jonathan Diniz and Mario Pinto. Don't know them. Vincent Luque and Joel Alvarez. I'm probably going Luque, guys. I don't know if you know who Alvarez is.
I don't actually, bro. No.
Davison Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. I'm a Figgy guy. I got Figgy.
Figgy, yeah.
Performance. I believe they changed his opponent, but Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot.
Yeah.
I'm an Oliveira guy. I'm a Charles Doe Bronx, aka the Predator fanboy. So going for the Doe Bronx. Man, did you see that Pereira knockout, guys, of Onkolov? That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a whoa. That was a whoa as well, yeah. It was insane.
Yeah, everybody talked all that crap about Onk being the like, bro, you got finished in 80 seconds, bro. No rematch, no rubber match. It's John Jones and Pereira at the White House card, June 2026. That's going to be crazy. I took a quick peek at it. What I missed was the Westerns and stuff. Put me on game.
Yeah.
I only took a quick browse. I can scan it right now, though, and you guys can watch in live content as I stare at my phone and read it. I'm sure it'll be riveting for you.
Yeah, we just need some elevator music to go with that.
Yeah,
I could do some commentary saying, up next, Ross Gates to the third paragraph.
80s horror synthesizer. That's the only thing I want for background music.
Sample a breathing effect.
Yeah, I know. Let's see my boy George Eastman. He's in some Westerns.
Yes, so Slip's recommending.
I assume he did spaghetti Westerns.
Mm.
Looks like he did all kinds of... Go ahead, guys.
I say Slip's recommending just to check the Django stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Slip, this is what we try and do with every review, even movies. We'll always, even something we hit, we'll always try and look for a positive in there. The same with what can't be mentioned, that horrible remake, which I still have nightmares about. The Crow, you know. Even with that, we tried to look for something because, I mean, yeah, sometimes you can't find them, but
we tried.
You know, everybody's got their own taste as well, which argue can be subjective too. But we'll always give you our honest takes, opinions, what we liked, what we didn't, why we didn't like it, or why we like it.
Dude, guys, this looks so sick. It's like a low-budget Conan. The Barbarians, 1987. Two twin barbarians seek revenge from the warlord who massacred their tribe.
Let's add that to the list. I'm sold already. Let's add that to the list.
Have to watch it.
Let's add that to the list. We'll get that in this month somewhere. Yeah.
Have to watch it. Hands of Steel. What's this one about? A cyborg programmed to kill the scientists who hold the fate of mankind in his hands.
Add that as well.
This guy did some wild grindhouse stuff. Blast Fighter. Endgame, Warriors of the Wasteland. He did some very like gazzy, low budget sci-fis. 1990, The Bronx Warriors.
Gaz's turds.
Yeah, gas style, gas station bin, grindhouse sci-fi. I think that's gonna do it today, lads. It was a classic. So shout out to Slip for bringing it pick. No, man, it's cool, man. I mean, I respect Italian horror. I'm sure there's other stuff in the genre, the Django stuff. I'll definitely check out.
Quick question to Slip before we go. Is that Driller Killer movie, the one I'm not talking about the band who are obviously very, very sick, but I keep hearing about this Driller Killer movie people shout out. Is that an Italian horror? I never looked it up. Would it be one we should look at? So just putting it out there.
What's your favorite horror, Slip? And I mean, what's your favorite genre, and is it horror? You can join the Patreon where I do Most Dangerous Game coverage and occasionally Zodiac stuff. You could join free with your Gmail. You can also become a member, 2 different tiers, and there's 3 different tiers of members on the YouTube. Just click join. You can message me if you want to get your name into episode 5 or episode 6 of the main series. It's directed by Abel Ferreira. That sounds like it could be an Italian gentleman. I heard Driller Killer is worth a watch. I rock with it. I can't remember if there was everything. Oh, got him!
I do. I'm not in tonight. It sucks.
He owns it. At least he owns it. What was I gonna say? Tune in next week for Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, and then our follow-up for The Keep. Still got other things in production here. Not too much going on the channels right at this time, guys. But when there's some more news, we'll definitely get it out here.
We can see the effect today's had on Ross.
Produced by Sam. Okay, I'll check it out.
That sounds interesting, Tim.
But shout out for everybody coming through. Appreciate you guys. Like, sub, and share. I think we're going to land the plane. Shout out to Oliveira Do Bronx, aka the Predator tonight. I'm trying to. So the Sisu 2 trailer is out now. You guys should check out our Sisu 1 review if you haven't seen it, or pick up Sisu. I'm trying to think of this, like the Predator Wacklands. Like I'm just not into it. Any other like trailers out right now that are popping besides Sisu 2. I told you about Nuremberg, guys. I don't think it has a trailer yet, but it's got Russell Crowe.
Yeah, it's got quite a good cast though, actually. Could be an interesting one.
If you're into World War II history films. R.I.P. Slash. What do you mean, Red Cloud? I don't think R.I.P. Slash. I just saw a quote from him that they have like a whole album of unreleased material. But video game news, go check out the Cosmic Evasion demo. That should be dropping soon, as well as the Toxic Crusaders beat 'em up. So we will get all that coverage rocking for you guys once we get on there. Yeah, so here's the problem. Wacklands is PG-13, and it's just like I feel like that ruined everything. Like when
it didn't look good anyway. It didn't. Now hearing this, yeah.
When they tried to make Expendables 3 PG-13, it didn't work, and it was dookie. I have a feeling. Honestly, I don't love that Prey director. I wasn't crazy about Prey. I didn't think it was that crazy. Yeah, I didn't see anything about R.I.P. Slash. I mean, I believe he's still alive.
Isn't the Prey sequel supposed to be set in World War One?
This is which one?
The Prey sequel that's coming, isn't it supposed to be set in World War One?
The Prey sequel is Wacklands, isn't it? Or I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, let's quickly before we go, folks, see if we can find some information.
It's not PG or PG-13.
Yeah.
Now, the guy who did Prey, that director did the animated Predator thing, which I didn't watch. Well, wait, wasn't there a World War One thing in that animated thing, guys?
It was World War II, and it was terrible.
Yeah, it did. Come on, man. Predator PG. What are we doing?
No, it's just all right. It's just rumors that there's possibly going to be a World War II setting for a Prey sequel. Okay.
What one rumor was feudal Japan, guys. We all know what Japanese samurai would do to a 17-year-old predator from Wacklands. They probably wouldn't last 10 seconds. Those guys can fight with their eyes closed. So, like,
I know this, but they kept talking about this. Other sequels supposedly. At first they were saying World War One, and now I've just looked it up. They're saying World War Two, but it's rumors. It's rumors, so it's probably
Japan. They posted. It's not going to be any of those guys. It's going to be like the 70s or something stupid. I don't love that director. I'm sorry, I haven't watched. I haven't watched the animated thing, and I'm not running to the theater to see Wacklands by any. The Smashing Machine is out. Gaz already saw it. Don't think he was really feeling it. So I don't think there's really much out or dropping. I do want to see Tron Ares. What did you think, Gaz? Brief, quick highlight preview.
It's okay. It's not as good as the first two, but it's not terrible. It's watchable. And I kind of won't drop any spoilers for anybody else, and I'll be here for once.
I saw one battle after the other. It wasn't great. It's like 3 hours long. As much as I love DiCaprio, it was mad long. And the pacing definitely had some issues. So I like Paul Thomas Anderson. Wasn't my favorite movie. But if you're into like football and sports movies and you want to see like a crazy hallucinogenic horror take on that, check out him. Him was actually sick. That was probably one of the better things I've seen lately. Whack Phone Poo does not look good. Looks like Battle Royale 25th anniversary. It's Kurosawa, right? That's coming back. Candyman 1 is coming back.
Nice.
I'm trying to see what's going on here. I'm trying to see the rest of what's coming soon.
Rayman remake and Mortal Kombat.
Yep. Pred Butt Tour, Wacklands. Not going to run to that by any means. And other than that, I think Smashing Machine and probably Tron are the only things that I'm really gunning for right now, guys. Whoa! November 5th, Rocky 4, Rocky vs. Drago, the director's cut. I've been waiting to see this. I missed it.
Ooh, so getting a theater release.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. There we go. There we go.
Yep. Finally found something. I'll be for sure watching that. No, I thought it would end, but it's something else. Back to the Future 40th anniversary, October 31st. Yes, let's go. And that's basically what me and Gaz are watching. Oh, The Running Man, a.k.a. The Budding Man. Let's not talk about it. Okay, guys. Anyway. No, this is true. It didn't. I haven't seen Tron yet, but I want to. I still want to see this, even though they're saying it's not good.
It's there's a lot worse. It's all right.
Yeah, I don't mind A24, and then Warfare could be on the list too, which is A24 as well. I know Red keeps plugging that. So, all right, guys, like, sub, share, PXF Paradigm Review Show. This is Antro, directed by Joe D'Amato, starring what was his name? George Eastman. Called Good Boy. Oh, you know what? I heard about this, dude. How was
just
that?
Dropped. Because it just dropped this week. I
like dog movies. That sounded cool. I'm hearing good things about that. I'm going to get around to seeing that. That looks cool. Let us know how that was or what you thought. But that's it, guys. Like, sub, share. Tune in next week for Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. The box you opened it. We came with my favorite horror character.
The Doctor is in the house.
You opened the box. You can go onto the Patreon and check that out. Yeah, we weren't crazy about it. I get you. Like, sub, share. Click the join button for membership. The comic book is out now on Amazon. You can get merch in the little section below the video. We'll be back next week with more horror, all Zodtober. Of course, if you need to contact me on X. Email me if you want to get your name in episode 5 or 6 of the main series. It's good to just check that I got your donation if you already sent one. We're out. Shout out to Slip's Pick. Shout out to Pixie for helping us with the links. Everybody who came through. Jeff, Timmy, Slippy, Greggy came through. I think that's basically everybody. So tune in next week. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2 should be sick. And as always, you can sub Gaz on Mosh Shinobi. We're out.